Did you get into a lot of trouble whenever you were a kid?
I was probably the ornery one. But I never did anything that would warrant police. You know?
Welcome to the Mason Miller Show, and tonight we're joined with Jenni Case, and as always, my co-host, Clay Miller. Jenni, how are you doing tonight?
Great.
You seem a little tense coming on the show tonight.
A lot.
Why are you nervous about it?
I don't know.
Jenni, they're going to be
When I get nervous, I laugh.
Literally tens of people.
Tens of people are going to be watching this.
I actually said 100.
Could be. Maybe you'll break the record.
Maybe.
You know the current record holder of views? Who that guest was?
Toby
Trump.
Kuntz.
Toby Kuntz. Wouldn't you like to unseat him as the number one most viewed? Oof.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't?
Right.
Okay, Jenni, so recently you made big news in Shelbyville by selling the Shelbyville Dairy Queen.
Yes, I did.
How has that transition been from owning it to no longer being the owner anymore, I guess?
Like a fish out of water.
So you
I'm
still
still
work there every once in a while,
Yes.
though, right?
Yes. Yes. Toby reports to Ashley when I'm working. And when Casey
How does he know that?
And when Casey is watering the plants.
How do you feel you've been doing since you as an employee there? Do you think you're in line for promotion this year?
I doubt it.
So you're just working drive-through still, or are you just helping them out?
Just drive through lunch hours.
Okay. So that's probably the busiest time of the day.
Yes.
By far.
They got to bring in the heavy hitter for that busy.
They got to call in the
Busy rush.
cavalry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody knows what they're
I'm
doing.
the
The
cavalry.
multitasker.
Has it been, have you done anything different since you're not a DQ every day? So I know you used to wake up pretty early to get there. What time would you get to DQ?
6
in the morning.
6 in the morning.
And then what time of the day would you usually go home?
1 to 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. And that's from when you started, or have you always?
No, when I first bought the Dairy Queen, I was there double shifts for years, for the first 10 years.
And what year did you buy it?
1991.
Was the Dairy Queen
I
already
had it for-
there?
Yes.
Or was it someone else owned it?
My parents owned it, and my sister and her husband, Joyce and Brad Pancoast. And after I bought it, it was my life for 30 years.
30
It's
years.
hard to believe,
Wow.
30 years.
30 years.
So that Dairy Queen was built, Mason, and all you that don't know, it used to be the old Dairy Queen used to be where what the Long Branch is now. I was going to say Family Dollar, but it was where the Long Branch
Right.
is now. That's where Dairy Queen used to be, and it was like the old one. You just walk up and stand outside,
Is it the windows on the front?
kind of like Taylorville's. Yeah.
And we used to wear little white dresses.
Did you
and
work
dip
there?
dillies.
Did you work? You worked there when you were like in high school?
I'm not telling my age, Clay.
No, that's all right. I think Amy Duckett did. I think I remember Amy Duckett. I was really, really little. I can barely remember that Dairy Queen. And then I think it was it Roger Bath who built the new Dairy Queen? Was he the original owner that your parents
Yes.
bought it from?
Yes.
And then they totally redid the whole thing. It was, that Dairy Queen inside, there'd never been a Dairy Queen like that I had ever seen before. When you guys went in and started doing your interior decorating touch to it.
Kind of gutting it.
Yeah.
And Mom and Dad owned it for 5 years, and then I bought it from them, and I owned it for 30. So it's been in the family for 35.
What made you buy the Dairy Queen?
I don't know. I just wanted my own business.
Did you always want your own business? Has that always kind of been your
Yeah.
dream since
Yeah.
you were a little kid?
And I worked at Dairy Queen during high school, and that was many moons ago. But I love the fast pace. Love it.
It's a lot of hard work as an owner, especially, isn't it,
Yes.
to run the Dairy Queen?
It's your life. You have to put into it a lot.
But it was worth it for you because you seemed to really like it. Every time I was in there, it seemed like.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
maybe not, unless you're having to put the hammer down on some employees.
It's been rough the last couple years. You just can't get anybody to work.
Well, when I was in high school in the 90s, back in the great era of Shelbyville High School,
Yeah.
a lot of the, I don't even know how I could say this politically correct, but the girls all wanted to work at Dairy Queen, it seemed like. I mean, it seemed like you had more employees. You could turn away employees. I mean, you had a lot of kids that would apply to work there. You know, guys and girls, you know, guys that work in the back or whatever. And did the pandemic change all that? I mean, it felt like coming out of the pandemic, not just
It
you,
did.
but you along with everybody else in America has been affected with just trying to get people back to work.
Yeah. No one wants to work.
Even still, 2 years later, it's about the same. Seems like.
Yeah, they're having difficulty to get workers right now at Dairy Queen. And the people that took it over, as long as they have themselves, they feel like they can run it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel like they need anyone else, but they do, and they know they do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to close it down. I mean, like close the lobby or close the drive-thru. You can't mention that to them.
Right.
They're very proud, and but they're doing very well. They're doing very well.
Really? That's good for them.
To do it now, you almost need a whole family involved, don't you? I mean,
Yes.
to be able to staff everything, and then, you know, obviously hire other people to come in and help out. But there's just not the workforce pool to choose from like you had for the first 25 years.
And none of the family wanted it. None of them. I mean, I asked everyone, "Are you sure you want me to sell it?" And then when the sale went through, they were like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "I didn't see you and Brazier flipping hamburgers."
It's probably because they all went through the drive-thru and then had to pay for their stuff for the first time in 30 years. And they're like, "Wow, this is terrible. I wish Mom was still here or Grandma or whatever." So
Drew called me the other day and he said, "Mom, I just want to thank you." I said, "What for?" He said, "For 30 years of free food.
Yeah.
I just went through and paid $15 for a single cheese and a fry."
for the $50,000 in food that you've given my family, you know, that's true.
Have you
That's
ever
great for them.
sold something on the menu that you weren't allowed to sell?
You mean like illegal? Yes.
So I think I remember you telling a story about selling a baked potato.
Yes.
They weren't allowed to do that.
Yes.
And the owner at the time was one of the Buffett kids. Was it Howard?
Howard.
Howard Buffett
And
was the owner
Warren.
at the time.
Yeah.
And you went up to Howard Buffett and asked him, "Why can I sell my baked potato?"
Yes.
At
He
my
was
Dairy
in
Queen?
the field planting, and I was getting ready to go to church, walked through the plowed ground, and he was filling the planter. And I said, "Howard, I need to talk to your dad, Warren." And he said, "What for?" And I said, "They're trying to," Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, had just bought American Dairy Queen, International Dairy Queen. And I said, "They're trying to make me get rid of my baked potato." He said, "If you come to Omaha, I will let you talk to my dad." So I jumped on a plane, bought a ticket, got tickets to the Berkshire Hathaway company meeting. And when you went there, everybody thought you owned shares.
Yeah.
Ha ha. And anyway, so got to meet Warren, took my picture. I said, "Why can't I have the baked potato?" And he was like, because when he buys companies, he let them, you know, he lets the people run them that are running them as long as it's good.
Right.
And so, yeah, but it was a fun trip. And I had to get rid of my baked
You
potato.
didn't get the baked potato.
So you said, "Thanks for coming. Let's take a picture." Yes.
I had 2 strikes,
Get rid
and
of
they
your
said,
baked-
"One more and you're going to lose your franchise." So out went the oven, out went the potato.
So even Warren couldn't see the reason why you should.
No,
Should have showed him the numbers.
Why didn't they put
Yeah.
potato bars in every Dairy Queen?
I don't
Because
know.
That was
How well did that
crazy.
do? Why
Oh.
you were selling that at the time?
We sold 200 a day because people want those instead of the fries with
Yeah.
the gravy. It was so delicious.
I mean, I remember people
That's
going there all
crazy.
the time. It was unbelievable how many of those things
Yeah.
you would sell. You know what you should do is you should open a restaurant.
I'd like to think that we probably had the greatest DQ in the country.
Oh yeah,
That is so special. Thank you.
there's no question.
I mean, we had the macho meal. I couldn't think of anyone else that brought that back. Well, was it
true.
official or did we just call it the macho meal?
It wasn't official.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
I ate enough macho meals that I probably Ashley still remembers my order from the 90s. She can still rattle it off.
Both your boys come through and get the macho meals all the time.
She goes,
Right.
"Is this the big one or the small one?"
We're gonna do the family discount on the cardiologist one day, probably. But no, yeah, we would go to the Dairy Queen every single day of high school.
I don't know how many high school kids would go there during lunch and would get a macho meal, but it's got to be incredible, that stat.
We get a macho meal with a single cheese chaser.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was good. And it was made with the old 6-to-1 hamburger rather than the new Girl Burger. It was just a good hand sandwich. It was a delicious sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best-selling thing that was ever on the menu? that you
Baked
can remember?
potatoes.
Really?
That they made you get rid of.
That is no longer on the menu. We do a great business. I did when I owned it in salads.
Really?
We have fresh salads that we make every day. Yeah. Yeah, we did a big business in salads.
Should have Jenny's salad and potato bar. You should
You're
opening
about the
this
fifth
fall.
person that's told me that.
Opening this fall.
That's all I knew is into the food place.
Mhm. I don't want any part of the restaurant business, but if you're gonna do it, I'm in. You tell me where to send the check.
Seriously.
Oh, absolutely. I've told Toby that all the time. I'm like, nah, not interested unless your mother-in-law is doing something. You tell me, I'm in. I'm in on that.
How did Toby
I'm an
take that?
investor. Well, he knows. I mean, he's like, yeah, absolutely. Got to have Jenny involved. So
I
we could
like
have-
the restaurant business.
we could have somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I like the restaurant business.
I mean, that's Warren Buffett's whole philosophy. That's why he does well. It's people who know what they're doing and really like it and turn out a product that he likes, that he genuinely like. That's how he invests in things.
Warren
Yeah.
should have taken notes from Jenny.
He should have. He missed.
That's true. He missed it.
Shout
yeah.
out to Warren Buffett.
He
You're
missed
listening.
the mark.
Right. He may have been the first richest instead of the fourth richest human
Exactly.
being
He
alive.
won't be listening to this,
in the
right?
potato verse.
I don't know. He might if he sees your name.
He should. He'll probably be calling you on invest in a new Jenny's salads and potato
Exactly.
Yeah.
restaurant.
When you were the owner, did you ever have trouble firing people?
You mean like my son? No, I
You
didn't.
fired your son? Wait, which one?
Drew.
You fired Drew? Why'd you fire him?
I'm not
Well, I
gonna
have
comment.
about a million things that pop in my head of why you probably could have fired him, but do you
He's
remember
a
what the
good
reason?
kid. He's a good kid. I want him to come for Christmas, so I'm not going to tell you why I fired him.
He wouldn't care. He would say,
You just laugh.
he would probably say, you should have fired me long before you did, is probably what he would say.
I do have a problem firing people, though. I give people a second and a third and a fourth chance, and now the way the situation is, you don't want to fire anybody. Well, they know you're not going to fire them.
So they can get away with about anything they
Yeah,
want.
no shows, don't show up on Memorial Weekend. I mean, they don't care.
Is that the biggest weekend of the year, Memorial Weekend? Or would you say 4th of July?
Probably 4th of July.
You'd say on
Labor
the
Day is good, too.
On the day, 4th of July is probably the craziest.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
People you'd think would be cooking out. But
You'd think.
We have we consider not a single day, but we consider like a weekend
okay.
or a holiday.
Yeah.
So that takes in Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
So probably Memorial Weekend, July the 4th, and Labor Day weekend are the three biggest weekends that we have.
Okay. Is there a slow part in the year? Or is it always...
There hasn't been the last couple of years. Usually after Christmas, January is a slower month. Then after Valentine's Day, it starts picking up again.
One of the craziest things I've ever seen was when you had you were doing was it the 50s, 60s?
50s, 60s night.
You did that for a few years.
Wasn't that fun?
Is that when all the cars...
Insane.
The NASCARs, we had 2 NASCARs
Yeah.
one year. It was awesome.
I mean,
Until somebody came to me. I locked my Camaro in my garage, and somebody came to me and said, Drew is out on the highway burning rubber off my brand new tires. And I went running across the parking lot, and there went my Camaro down the street. I thought, he is grounded.
I'm
and
so surprised that he would do that. Doesn't seem like
Jenny, why
anything
would
that
you
he
buy
would
a
do.
Camaro when Drew or Shane were that age?
I don't know, because I raced it in Charleston.
You raced the Camaro?
Yes.
Did you...
Just on the drag strip, nothing big.
So you're a big drag racer.
No. No.
You didn't like it? Or you just do it a couple
I
times?
love racing cars.
You would think she's racing cars anytime you ever see her driving from her house back and forth to Dairy Queen.
Because I heard from Ashley, I mean, she said this, that you have a, quote, need for speed.
She's one to talk.
The pedal speed.
That whole family,
Bit of a heavy foot.
that whole family is all They all drive the same.
That's true. We do.
Yeah.
But we're careful. We're very careful. That's why I went legal over to the drag strip instead of out on the highway.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way to do it.
Shane should have been a stunt driver, honestly, because it is amazing what he's. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but just growing up and him being a couple of years older and stuff, it's impressive, the stuff that he was able to do at a young age.
I probably don't know half of it, but that's okay.
Yeah. You know enough of it, though. I can remember, like, one time you coming home. Didn't you have that Cougar or something? And either Shane or Drew, one took it, and you came home and went out to the garage, and there was, like, a big, huge dent in the side of it.
That was my Camaro. It had dirt out the mufflers, mud. Drew had jumped that damn hill out here, and I had grass and mud out my mufflers, and I was like... That was just, those days are over.
Was he
now
grounded
they can
again?
enjoy their kids.
Not a Camaro that you would want to buy as a second owner.
I know. But I had so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one more thing about the Dairy Queen. What, did you have any reservations in jumping in and buying it and being an owner and
No, but I did selling.
Really?
Yes.
So selling it was much more difficult for you than buying it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Did you regret it once you did it?
I regretted it before I put my name on the line. And I was going to get out of it. I made up my mind. I'm just...
You want to be done?
Not going to do it. I'm going to just keep the Dairy Queen. And I was told that it could be a court suit if I backed out. So I decided, hey, God's got this. If I sign my name, it's done. And that's exactly what happened. And then about a week later, I was glad I did.
Yeah.
I was glad I did. And I'm still glad. I'm still trying to find my way on what, I want to do.
What's a massive...
But I'm not retired.
Right.
Not
Never.
retired.
You'll
Never retire.
No. I like working.
Yeah. It's a massive life change. I mean, it's not like you just change jobs or anything, which can be really tough.
It was massive.
Or your kids moving out of the house and going, I mean, but 30 years of
Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So good for you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is your host, Mason Miller, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Event Market, which is located on Main Street in Shelbyville. Check them out on Facebook, and you'll find several pictures of what they offer. They have a wide variety of options, rustic, vintage, simple, and classy. Whatever style you're looking for, they will meet your needs. Give Jenni Case a call to set up an appointment. She will plan and coordinate all your event rental needs at any venue. Whether it's a wedding, a shower, a graduation, or any special occasion, call Jenni at 217-254-9643 to make an appointment or message Event Market on Facebook. Again, that number to reach Jenni Case is 217-254-9643. Go check out the Event Market today on Main Street. Welcome back to the Mason Miller Show. We're still joined with Jenni Case, and we're going to try our first soda, and it's the frosty grape flavored, which I'm pretty sure we haven't had yet. But Jenni, you seem to like the flavor of grape, so we'll give it a try.
Okay, sounds good.
Go ahead and take a drink of it.
Oh, that's delicious. Dairy Queen used to have what was called the Purple Cow.
Purple Cow.
And they used grape pop and ice cream. So they called it a Purple Cow, but it was like a float. And I haven't had that since they had it. And that's what that tastes like.
Really?
That's very good.
Are you
vote
talking
for grape.
about like back when you were a youngster working? Or
When I was working.
Really?
No, when we were kids, when we first moved here from Cowden.
When you were working at what do they call that when it's only outside? Is that brazier?
It's just a walk up.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not brazier. It wasn't brazier then. It was only ice
What does
cream.
brazier mean? Does that mean food?
Food.
Okay. So if it's a Dairy Queen brazier, then that means they have food because some of them just used to be ice cream only.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them did. Back
Really?
in the Yep. Back in the 60s, it was ice cream only, and then they started the brazier part of it. And I think Roger Bath put the brazier when he built the one that I bought.
Yeah, made it the full.
Made it. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Full menu. But that's delicious.
Could you drink soda when you were a kid?
Only on Saturdays. Mom would let us have it on Saturdays.
What would be your go-to soda on Saturday?
Pepsi out of a glass bottle.
Ice cold Pepsi.
Oh, yes, it was delicious.
You mentioned when
I love pop. I love the carbonation. I love pop. I know a lot of people don't drink it, but they're missing out.
I don't know what's wrong with those people.
You're really a real pop lover. You said you moved here from Cowden. How old were you when you moved to the metropolis of Shelbyville?
I was in 6th grade. I don't know what age that is.
Yeah.
Whatever 6th grade
Why'd
is.
you move to Shelbyville?
Dad bought the property where Walmart is now.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us moved. Jackie was a freshman. I was in 6th. Joyce was in 8th. And then Jill and Jim, I don't know what grades they were in. Because there was 5 of us kids within like 7 years of each other. 6 years of each other. Yeah.
So pretty close to each other.
Very close.
But you were here long enough that all of you graduated from Shelbyville.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I heard of the 5 that you happen to be the wildest one. Is that not?
Wild in what way?
I don't know. You tell me. Did you get into a lot of trouble whenever you were a kid?
I was probably the ornery one. But I never did anything that would warrant police. You know?
I was
mean,
thinking
like-
probably you didn't have the police involved, but you just you're
Dad was
ornery.
enough.
You mean just
Dad was
You
enough.
just mean like out running around, things
Right.
like that, not
Yeah, just doing
destructive
ornery
or-
stuff.
Yeah. Like
What was-
anything you want to share, Jenny? Or
No.
So what?
No.
nope.
What year did you graduate high school?
70.
Okay, so what was it like going to high school in those 4 years? Was it pretty crazy? Because the late 60s into the 70s, that had to have been a pretty wild time to be a teenager.
Yeah. I mean, we came from a strict environment. My mom and dad were very strict with us.
Mr. and Mrs.
You-
Dunaway didn't allow any jacking around, did they?
No, well, you couldn't date until you were 16. They had to come to the door and pick you up, and they had to be approved.
Who approved him?
Dad.
What were his standards like?
Don't
They
be an
couldn't
idiot.
drink. They couldn't, just,
Couldn't smoke?
oh, no. But anyway, we had a wonderful childhood.
Did they know you smoked in high school?
No,
I wanted to see your reaction.
don't think that happened.
No, I wanted to see your reaction. I knew you'd be outraged.
Anyway, yeah, we had a wonderful childhood. Mom and Dad took us on. We would, use the wheat crop to go on vacations in July. And
Where would you go for vacation?
they loaded all 5 of us up and we went out west for 2 weeks,
Really?
all in a little 4-door car. I mean, like
What were those trips like?
crazy.
Mm,
A lot of fighting
yeah.
between us kids.
Did you make your dad mad on those road trips?
No, Dad was pretty good.
Yeah. He just ignored it and kept driving.
We just didn't fight within the car where Dad was. But
Yeah.
we had a great childhood.
I know what would happen if me and my brother were in the back seat and my dad and we were making a lot of noise. He would get
Yell
pretty
and
angry.
scream?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I wouldn't
That's
yell and
sad.
scream.
He would just get-
I would just turn around or give him a glance in the rearview mirror. And they'd
The
do-
look is usually what does it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
You never
remember
really much fighting in our car when the kids were little because Malcolm has this thing where he falls asleep in about 3 minutes of a moving car. Ever since he was a newborn. I mean, if he wouldn't sleep, we'd go put him in the car and go for a drive. He's out. And to this day, he's that way, isn't he, Mason? I mean,
Oh yeah. I'm the exact opposite.
he never wants to drive, always wants to ride, is happy to get in the back seat, and will be, I don't care if you're driving to Pana. He'll fall asleep on the way.
You're kidding.
Nah,
Can you
he's
fall
out.
asleep in a car, Jenny?
No.
Did
Well, when we go to Florida, Casey will not let me drive. So that
Really?
upsets me. So I make my bed in the back, put my little computer back there, and I lay back there until we reach a stop. Seriously, he won't let me drive. I don't know why. I'm an excellent driver. But he refuses to let me drive, and it ticks me off because it's my car.
Probably
So-
because he doesn't want a 17-hour drive to be done in 9 hours.
That's.
with Jenny.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
Maybe.
I guarantee you cried when the police officer came up to your window.
I haven't got one lately.
Yeah. Do you tear up, don't you, and cry?
I get nervous.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a given. But I bet if you cry, I bet you'd get out of it.
I doubt it.
What was your first car in high school, Jenny?
I didn't have a car in high school.
You didn't drive?
Mm-mm.
When did you get your first car?
Probably when I got out of high school.
Do you even remember
Made
what it
payments
was?
on it. No.
You don't even remember?
No. I know it wasn't my black Camaro.
That one sticks in your mind still from Drew.
For sure.
I remember the little truck you had that I think maybe had been your dad's or something.
The
and you said-
S10.
Yeah, I saw. It's amazing what an S10 can. That Chevy should have made a commercial about that thing, and they just sold millions of them because of what I saw Shane do with that truck. It was absolutely amazing.
See, those are things I don't know.
No, you don't. It's
And
probably
it's
a
probably
good thing.
a good thing.
But that's when I decided I would be a Chevy driver because I'm like, if that thing is still running on Monday morning at school, that's impressive.
I
That is
didn't know
awesome.
this.
So 1 through 5 of the kids, who got in trouble the most?
Who was the orneriest out of you and your sibling? I bet it was you.
Because I heard a story
Oh,
from your daughter, Ashley, and I seemed to, well, you ran over your dad's truck with a bulldozer?
Yes.
are you
What
serious?
happened
She
there?
told you that.
What happened there?
Jenny, this is the good stuff. We want to hear this.
What was running through your mind to
Nothing.
hop inside that bulldozer?
I like to drive heavy equipment.
Is that
That's
one of
where
your hobbies?
That's where your boys get it from, isn't it?
Yeah. I like to drive equipment like
So you
that.
hop up in the bulldozer. Had you ever been in a bulldozer before or operated one?
No.
And you just started messing around with the controls, and next thing you know, Dad's truck is smashed up.
Well, just tell us the story. So you're going along. What happened?
I had 160 acres to drive it in, and I accidentally put it in reverse. And then I freaked out, and I didn't know how to stop it. So when you take your foot off the pedal, it goes faster. And the next thing I knew, somebody was in my face yelling, and the river was behind me, and it was squashing the bed of Dad's truck, literally. So then we had to go back to Cowden, and the truck was a mess, and everybody found out what happened. I was very humiliated. I was very proud that I could drive a bulldozer. I love driving equipment.
Can you drive one now?
Apparently, you couldn't.
I
drive
would.
a
I haven't
bulldozer.
been back on one yet.
Since the incident?
That was enough. But I can drive a backhoe.
Maybe Shane or Drew should take you out and
Give you lessons.
teach you.
Th-
Maybe
I
it's time to
know.
learn how to drive a
Bulldozer Ed.
Yeah. I don't think they would have patience for me.
Take you out in the middle of a field and make sure your dad's truck isn't anywhere near.
Yeah, I can't believe Ashley told you that.
Hey, she told.
Hey,
Just
that's
told Mom
good
that.
stuff.
That's a good
funny.
story.
Yeah, I mean, who's done that in their life? I mean, that's crazy.
And lived to tell the
That's
story.
hilarious. Yeah. Did you cry when you did it?
I was crying, yes.
Yep.
And
So-
my brother Jim was laughing because he was on it before I was, and he didn't even know how to drive it. So I thought, Jim, this is how you drive a bulldozer. So I jump up in there. And when he saw Dad's truck squashed, he looked at me and was just rolling on the ground laughing. He thought that was the funniest thing. That's what made me cry.
Yeah,
least
because
you
it didn't happen to him. That's why he thought it was so funny.
Well, at least you didn't run the bulldozer into the river. But what did
It was close.
What was your dad's reaction?
Shock.
But
Just utter shock.
you probably cried, so he probably let you off the hook because you were
He
crying.
did let me off the hook.
Now, if it was one of your brothers, do you think he would have been more mad because?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
the way
I
it
only have
happens.
one brother, and he would have been mad at Jim.
Yeah.
But he wasn't mad at me.
Yeah, and Jim's like, "Are you kidding me?" If she cries, she gets away with it. Poor Jim.
I was crying because I was really nervous.
I'm sure.
If you could have seen the truck, you would have cried too.
It was like one of those.
I've never seen a bulldozer do that before.
Oh, that's good.
Never.
So you probably, in your post Dairy Queen life, will not be joining your kids in the heavy equipment
Fox and Austin.
dirt moving, they probably won't be recruiting you anytime soon.
No. But I'm sure I could do a good job.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't think there's any
Because
doubt.
honestly, one of the favorite things I love to do is pour concrete. Dad and I poured the entire we poured the entire west side of the parking lot, my dad and I. Dad and I together, we poured that whole concrete thing. I love getting on my gumboots and sloshing in the concrete. I love it.
I'd love to
I
see
absolutely love it.
I'd like
There's
to see a
nothing
video
like
of
it.
that.
So you're out there like running the float and stuff? I mean, come
Oh,
on.
that is so fun. But back in the day we used a 2x4 where you
Yeah.
you
Sitting there
know,
working that thing back
now
and
you
forth.
sit on a machine and it does it.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But they wouldn't let me on that machine either.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, no way.
Not after the Bulldozer incident.
They would not.
You would be the one that would have that hand thing that spins around, and you would accidentally be the guy that lets go the handle, and the handle would spin forever. They wouldn't be able
There's
to
no
stop
way
it.
they can slow it down.
That's funny, Clay.
So fast forwarding a little bit, you have Drew and Shane and Ashley, right?
Yes.
And what was it like raising a daughter and then with those two boys? Did they ever get into trouble or fights?
Never. Never.
Yes.
It went
One day
Shane,
I
Ashley,
came-
Drew. But in
Shane,
that order.
Ashley, Drew, and one day I come home and Ashley had a little pink parasol and it was turned inside out in the yard. And I was like, and Ashley was crying. I said, "What happened, Ashley?" The boys told me to go up on the roof and jump off and I could be Mary Poppins. I was like, "What?" She said, "I landed in the bushes."
Didn't they also shoot her between the eyes with a BB gun?
Yes, they were awful.
Did who got in trouble the most?
In the early years, just kid stuff. They all got spanked. Now I don't even know if that's legal or not.
Even Ashley?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. But then when they, got into their high school years and stuff, it was a whole different ballgame.
I wonder.
I mean, it was a whole different ballgame. And this is a funny story if Toby's listening.
I'm sure you will be.
I warned her, you are going to finish college and you're going to get a degree because you got to be self-supportive. And so December, Christmas, before they got married, she called me up and said, "I think Toby's going to give me a ring. Is it okay?" I thought that is so cute. Yes, but you're not getting married until you get your degree.
He's just too hard to resist. The most romantic man in the world, Toby.
Toby?
You asked if Toby would view this, and no, he probably won't because he won't want to give you a view because he'll be scared that you're going to get more views than him. So he probably won't want to.
Did he really get a lot of views?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, he was the first, so a lot of
Well,
people were watching.
yeah.
But I mean, Jenny, it's different. All of these high school kids will want to watch because
Right.
it's their favorite place to eat
Right.
during lunch.
I hope it still is.
Yeah. Well, until
We went. I mean, it was at
till-
the very end, but yeah, we still went there.
till Jenny opens the Jenny's taters and salad, then that'll become the new go-to.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not in my character to just get up in the mornings and just sit and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a big worry for me.
Right.
I like to still get up at 6, and I am out of the house by 7:30, 8 o'clock. I go up to the event market where our shops are, and I have cleaned every piece of glass.
I see.
I have got every cobweb. I'm washing the windows.
I see you in and out of there all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you possibly still
I'm
doing?
organizing, making sure everything's folded right because Heather will come in and critique the way I folded a tablecloth.
So for people that don't know, up where Corner Drug used to be,
Yes.
across from the city hall or police station area,
Mm-hmm.
is your other business. You, Ashley, and Heather, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Which Ashley Kuntz and Heather Fox, your daughters-in-law, or your daughter and daughter-in-law. So what is that business?
It's a event market, and we rent things for an event, weddings or receptions or
Graduation parties.
And you can hire us to come and do your wedding, or you can just come in and rent the things. Give us ideas you like. We can make it. We can design it. We'll customize your wedding. And it's a great place. Just call for an appointment. Call my number,
What's your number?
217-254-9643.
There you
We'll
go.
flash it up there.
Or email. Can you flash it up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And Little Cone, LITTLECONE1414 @yahoo.com.
I'm not even sure what you just said, if it was English or
Are you
not.
serious? That's your email?
Yeah.
Little Cone?
And I'm not changing it. Somebody thought my email was Dilly Bar. I said I wouldn't put Dilly Bar down as an email.
Right, because that's just silly.
Right.
That's
That's
silly.
nonsense.
Because Little
The
Cone
Little
just
Cone.
makes sense.
Perfect. I might have to call you Little Cone from now on. That's awesome.
Jenni Little Cone Case.
Yep.
We're going to take our next quick break, and we'll be right back with more from Jenni. You might know that the Mason Miller Show sells soda, but you don't know where to get it. Well, today's your lucky day. The Mason Miller Show sells their soda out of Jake's Antiques and on Route 16 in Shelbyville, Illinois, as well as a select few at Joe's Pizza in Shelbyville. You'll walk in, be a nice flyer inside the menu, open it up, pick a flavor, and order a retro soda at Joe's Pizza. Go support Joe's and go buy a soda. Welcome back to the Mason Miller Show. We're still joined with Jenni Case, but now we have a special guest star, Ashley Kuntz.
Hello.
Oh. Ashley, what's your relationship to Jenni?
She is my mother.
Okay. Well, we could have told that by listening or looking at you.
I am special.
Twins.
Yes.
Not quite.
And you've come on to just in the right time because we're going to try our second soda, the strawberry
Okay.
cream soda.
What was the first one?
We tried a grape one first.
Oh, okay. I
It
think
was
strawberry
delicious.
Toby tried when he was here.
I think you're right.
Jenni,
So,
you love cream soda, right? Be honest.
I do not care for cream soda,
Okay, well,
but I like the color because I like to wear red.
you like to wear red?
Yes.
Okay.
Not
Well,
to drink it, though.
let's give it a try and see.
Let's
Okay.
try
What you
it.
think.
It's not bad.
Jenni, I'm with you.
Is that the truth?
I don't mind it, but I don't know if I would drink a lot of it.
I'm not a cream soda person, but
I'm not
but it's-
either.
But I could have a small glass of that.
It
Yeah.
tastes like medicine to me.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Robitussin.
Yeah.
I like cherry NyQuil if it was close to that.
The grape's delicious.
Nobody's ever said they like cherry
No,
NyQuil.
Oh.
NyQuil's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Cherry NyQuil?
Thank you, Ashhole, for saying that.
You're welcome. It is bad.
I like it.
That's my nickname.
I didn't
Well,
know that.
Clay started it.
She's known around these
Malcolm
parts
and yeah.
as Ashhole.
That's you may need to edit that out. That's
I didn't know that.
people can take that the wrong
Really?
way.
Have you ever been around Malcolm and Mason and Clay call me Ashhole? Then Dr. D got wind of it. He calls me it at work and thinks it's the funniest thing
I
ever.
honestly is the first time I've ever heard.
You know,
of it.
Ashley, I apologize because I had no idea that you're work people. I can't believe I
You
called
were there
that.
and called me that.
This is back when I was a rep.
You
and
called
I
her that at work?
I just stopped in because I was calling on the clinic right next door, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's where Ashley works. I'm just going to pop in there and say, hey. And I must have.
You
They
said,
must
hey,
have-
Ashhole. And everybody's like, I
What's
said,
wrong
it's
with
a
that?
nickname. Don't worry about it. And they're like, we like it. So then they started it.
Look what you did.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Planted the seed.
Nah, it's
I'd-
unique.
Add that to my list of 3,000 regrets.
No, it's good. I
So-
like it.
So now this is the first time you've heard yourself on a microphone and everything, and your mom says you really you enjoyed singing. And
I'm
so-
not singing. I'm just throwing it out there.
Do you
I'm
need
not
a
gonna
hairbrush to sing into? I heard that's
I
what you
did
used
do
to-
that as a child.
She did.
Yes. Because
Did
she
you do
did
that,
it
Jenni?
too. She did. Yes.
I did.
What would you sing? in the-
Actually, she'd put on the Dairy Queen things and act like Whitney Houston when she was doing
don't
Driving.
remember that.
You so did.
Oh my gosh.
And oh yeah, Bodyguard. I remember it.
Yep.
Those nights we were tired. You'd put it on, and I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't recall that.
That
Full on
is-
concert
yes.
between the two of them.
At the
I know.
drive-thru.
Remember Drew and the drums? How
With the
he
Charlie Chip cans.
Yes, with the
Yes.
Charlie chip cans, and she would scream and yell, "Quit beating the shower room!" He would beat the walls of the shower, and her
yes.
bed was right next door, and she would always scream and yell and get so mad.
Yeah.
He really could play the drums, though, right?
He was good.
He's excellent.
Yeah. And I mean, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He just could do it, right?
By
I mean, he
ear?
didn't take lessons or anything, did he? Just, yeah.
He taught himself.
I remember that drum set you guys had down in the basement of your old house over there in the corner.
Yeah.
You could just play it.
I don't remember.
He sold it for cash.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Shocker.
And Toby always bought his stuff.
Toby would always lure him in and buy
the
something.
lava light and
Yes.
all the stuff
His
that I
yellow
got him
Walkman
for Christmas. Yes,
that we still have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Toby was talking to the little kid, the little brother, about, hey, I'll buy this.
Drew
for
would
you.
always need cash, so Toby, he'd come in.
And I have no idea what for.
You don't want to know, probably. Those were his wild days. He's so calm now.
He is.
Very calm. So, Jenny, is Ashley your favorite kid?
Nope. That would be Drew.
You did cry when he showed up at that wedding to help you clean up.
He did. She did.
You cried?
Well, they were in Altamont, right? Cleaning up from a wedding, and you were exhausted.
Effingham.
Effingham.
Then we came to Altamont. There was a ball game. There was something, with Altamont. Maybe the wedding was at
I think you were telling.
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
We were playing baseball the next day.
The wedding
You were
was in
telling us the
Effingham,
story.
and we had the whole ceiling to tear down. And Casey was on his way, and Ashley was coming, and I was doing something on the stage, and I looked down, and I was like, Casey, why did you wear those shoes? And I looked up, and there was Drew, and I just was like, it was a happy time.
Because you knew Drew was
Her
gonna
favorite
jump,
kid was there.
and he was going to jump on that lift and make things
I don't
happen.
know why
wouldn't
you
he?
guys think Drew's my favorite. All three
Because
of
he
you.
says it. He says, I'm mom's favorite. And we're like, okay. Shane's not even in the running. And then
Shane, that's not true.
that's true.
They all have their little space of things that they're
Oh, absolutely.
that they little parts that they occupy for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get to work with Ashley all the time, though. So you must get along pretty well.
We do.
We get along great.
I love working with her and Heather in the event market. I love the time we spend together.
Does Toby ever come and help out?
All
He
the
has a
time.
couple times help us tear down.
Yeah.
in the last 25 years.
So, is this one of these bash Toby nights?
No. Well, he can come on and retaliate if he wants, but no.
No.
Ashley, are you going to be in on the Jenny's Taters and Salad restaurant she's going to open? Because we
Your
determined
food truck?
the potato bar was. Ooh, no, there's another thing. Oh, we didn't know about that. Jenny, you're holding it out on us.
She would love to do a food truck.
What would
She
you?
would honestly love to travel with the carnival. Would you not? She would. She would
carnival?
She would travel with carnival people. It's probably not polite.
Probably not.
Edit.
Edit. That is, she loves to do stuff like that.
I do.
She would work for a carnival tomorrow.
I love popping a tent up and selling stuff. I love it. I love it. I do. I love it.
You are going to have to do something like that because there's not enough to do with the wedding stuff during the week to occupy
No, she
your
needs
time.
to do a food truck.
You can only rearrange and wash those glasses so many times, Jenny.
I know.
Hold those tablecloths.
Get rid of the cobwebs.
Someone's going to cut themselves on the creases in those tablecloths.
I'll tell you what, the one thing that Casey came and got, Ashley and Heather hadn't seen it, but it was a 55-gallon trash can full of broken glass.
Wow.
I'm
But it
not
was
surprised.
It was stuff that we glued back together. And then when I cleaned it, it fell apart.
Are you serious?
Remember?
There's
Remember?
broken glass every time we do anything in there.
I know, but remember all those things you glued back that you bought? The tops fell off and they broke. I mean, it just split in half as soon as I picked
It's
them
easy
up.
to.
It's so easy.
Why we're here live,
Uh-oh.
I broke 6 of those tall pillars that you have up when I was getting ready for that one wedding. So now you know.
What tall pillars?
It's like a
The
confessional.
tiered,
No.
Oh.
something tipped and it was like dominoes. And I tried to grab it and I couldn't.
This is a great
But-
time to tell her this, though. 'cause
Well, I
what
tried
does
to
she
order.
do?
She was in
Exactly.
Exactly.
Which pillars?
Oh, the
They're up
expensive
on the
ones.
glass.
They're glass?
Oh, not those from Accent Decor. That's why I couldn't find all of them. I just rented those.
Yeah, they're in a dumpster.
And I could not find some
No,
of them.
they're broke.
They're in pieces.
You can
I was
edit
gonna-
all this out.
I was going to try to order more, and I couldn't.
Look,
We don't ever use all of them anyway. That's what Heather said. So I feel comforted about that.
Those were very nice containers.
yeah.
I don't think we're talking about the same one.
The one that's on a skinny thing, and then the thing, Accent Decor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ones.
Edit all that out.
You never would have known if I wouldn't have told you.
I would, because I just got them out yesterday. I had to take them to paint it for a rental.
Jenny,
Oh.
if you drop a potato, it's not a
It
big
doesn't
deal.
break.
Yeah.
Okay, edit all that out. And
Oh,
then-
yeah. We'll make sure we get all of that out.
Yeah, it's
I've
not
been
coming
that
out.
Mom. I've honestly forgot to tell you about it
That's okay.
Is there
Why
anything
not
else?
tell it on live radio?
because
Right.
then you won't ground me.
Is there anything else that you
Ground
want to
me.
get off your chest?
No, nothing.
Either one of you.
I have nothing.
Besides that.
Ashley,
That was it. That's all I've done wrong.
Ashley, you were adopted.
Yeah, you can tell you.
Yeah,
were
there's no question.
No.
So, are you getting ready to go to school
I am. I'm going to be going to Illinois State.
No, it's
with your
And
brother?
turned into Jenny's interview now.
Do you want your own show? I bet you guys would be great together.
you would. You'd be really good.
Like, what's it called? The Diamond, whatever.
Don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
Yeah. Edit.
No, it's all gold, Jenny. It's all gold.
So, Jenny, one thing I wanted to ask is, what is your favorite thing to do with your daughter?
Shop.
Yeah.
Is it
I was, yeah.
Is it for Christmas? Big
your
Christmas,
Christmas
shopping?
shopping trip?
Just
Yes.
shop.
We take this Jill Miller lady.
I've heard of her.
It is so fun.
All she does is come home and say that her sides and her cheeks hurt from laughing at you all the time, which I can
It's
imagine.
a tradition.
It is.
And did we do it last year? No.
We
COVID.
put on our reindeer things that that Jill Miller brings.
My.
And we take Shane's big black van with the boom boxes in the back.
The big
we
black
go into we go into St. Louis, and they don't know what hit them. What can I say?
I think.
Because I drive.
Of course.
Speaking of Christmas, Jenny, I want to ask you this real quick.
Oh no!
When Hayden was a little
Your grandson.
was about a month
month
old.
old. Yeah.
Did you write Nathan on all of his Christmas presents that year? He had been, so his birthday is November 27th. So he'd been alive for a month, and you still didn't know his name was
No.
Hayden?
So we were passing out gifts, and I left the ones under the tree that said Nathan. So I'm like, maybe she's at church, a little boy or something at church. And
Right.
so then I'm like, Mom, who is Nathan? She's like, what do you mean? It's your baby. I said, Hayden? She said, well, what's his middle name? And I'm like, Benjamin.
Not.
She's like, I have no idea where I got Nathan from. So,
I didn't, and I did do that.
yeah.
Did you ever have trouble after that calling him Hayden, or did you figure it out?
I figured it out.
I
I may
can't
not know
believe-
how to spell his name yet, but I know that it's
Right.
Hayden.
You don't know how to spell it?
You do.
Just kidding.
What are you going to do about the family pictures that are still in Dairy Queen?
They're coming down.
There's an awesome prom picture.
Your guys are getting that. It's going to be here in the basement.
Yes, you're gonna
That was
get
in
that.
DQ World magazine.
Yes,
You can add that to the. Mason
wasn't that
Miller
an
background.
awesome pick?
Yeah, it was.
Do you still
And
have the
Zeke
magazine?
Fox did that pick.
Yeah. Do you
Yes,
still
yes.
that it was in?
And I was on WA&D just for eating a burger. Sitting at the table, they
You
come
and
over.
Hayden
That's
and
right.
Yeah, and
Nick?
Grits was there.
And Nick, yeah. Yeah.
They flashed it over and looked over to the camera like that, and they got a video of me eating a burger.
We did a lot of PR stuff
2 seconds of fame.
at Dairy Queen. A lot of PR. But the family pictures, they wanted me to leave the family pictures up. I didn't really mind, but then we played a trick on Shane and told him we needed a new family picture. He said, what for? And I said, well, and the phone went dead.
For the Dairy Queen?
He wasn't happy. His was still hanging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've heard it's been a point of contention, but it seems like it
Really?
should be in there.
Yeah. It's
Family.
was in our family for 35 years.
I know, but
It just shows that we're okay with the sell. We're okay with the transition. And
Or that you can't let go.
that could be that.
oh,
Jenny.
That's why you're still working lunch hours.
How come you're not working nights, Jenny? Why are you slacking?
I don't do nights. I'm in bed by 8 when I get
gonna
up
say,
so early.
It's 7:10 now. You're pushing it now
I'm
to get home
pushing
and
it.
get back into
I'm
your
pushing
routine.
it.
You're pushing it.
Yep. Yeah.
But this has been unusually fun. This has been fun. Nervous before I got here.
Well, I'm glad you actually did come onto the show. I didn't know if you would or not.
I didn't either.
You've been
Even
a hard-
driving
I
here.
passed your driveway.
Well, you're just learning your way around town. You're originally from Cowden. You're still trying to get your bearings here in Shelbyville.
You've only been here since the 6th grade.
You were probably curling your hair and drove right by it.
Almost.
Yeah. Oh, she curls her hair, puts her makeup on, all that while she's driving.
Edit,
yeah.
edit. You got to edit that part.
You know you do.
The cops will be watching for me.
Oh, they will not.
You move too fast for them to see.
They do.
Oh, Ashley, you do the same thing.
I get it honest.
Oh,
I
so
do.
you do the same thing.
Oh, I don't do my hair or anything.
No, but you move quick.
I do. I drive fast. I'm trying. Well, the price of gas, you can't do that anymore.
Remember Hayden and I were kids in the back seat, and we go over that when there was that bump on your way to your
Is
house.
this the car of truth?
Yeah.
Not the truck of truth.
Hold on, kids.
Well, that is fun. Now they've leveled that out.
Yeah,
you can't even jump it
do the
anymore. It isn't fun. I know.
In the old Buick,
I
you get in
know.
air.
That would be it's a good jump and a good speed if you got air and
No.
it was good.
And you wonder why I raced my Camaro in Charleston.
Or why your son brought it home with mud in the tailpipes.
That's yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
That was probably the Chicago when he got lost in Chicago.
Mm-mm.
You mean when he took my Camaro and I didn't know it?
Oh,
That was a whole different ball game. But we won't discuss that. We'll come back on and discuss that.
Yeah.
yeah. Bring Shane and Drew on. This was Drew who took it.
Bring Shane and Drew on.
Drew was the mild one, too.
Open invitation.
I don't know if Drew was Shane was the fighter. He was just in trouble for fighting. Drew, I don't know. He's in a whole different league.
Well,
You gotta edit this.
I was going to say the
I won't even be having Christmas at my house.
No, you'll be listening to it at Christmas.
Well, Shane doesn't have any social media, so you're good there. He doesn't have any Facebook or anything. He doesn't do social media. So
somebody
he won't hear.
So we
Somebody-
can really lambast him. Is
that
that what
somebody
you're
will
saying?
take it and just forward it to him, and it could be me, and it'll pop up right on his phone on a text, and you just hit play. So
That could, we
Yeah.
could convince him.
anyway.
Remember when we took a picture of him in his underwear weighing, and I told him it was.
I see. He said never to share that. Edit again.
No, he was in a competition, a weight competition with Toby that we're going to
He is
see.
so
So he
going
came
to
over to my
kill
house
her.
to weigh, and I took a picture, and then we were laughing. I sent it to Mom, and I said, "Tell Shane you just saw this on Facebook."
Did he panic?
Oh, he was not happy.
Oh, I bet.
He was not happy.
He's so gullible. He didn't even know what Facebook is or how it works. So
Oh,
we're ornery.
you guys might have some making up to do with the boys.
Nah.
Your mom's not so sure.
No.
Anyway, it's all meant.
They know
with
how we
love.
are. It's ornery, yes.
Yeah. So
Well, Jenny, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome.
And you can come back anytime you want.
to talk about your next adventure.
My next adventure, yes. I will come back when I figure out what I'm going to do.
I thought we were going to have to call the medical unit when you showed up because you said you were having heart palpitations.
I was.
But
You came across
got
as
through.
smooth as could be.
and
Yeah.
you did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. Thank you for asking me.
Of course.
Thank
It
you.
was a good time. Don't forget, you can buy all these sodas at Jake's, and there's a select few at Joe's, so go check it out, and we'll see you next time.